Hey everybody, welcome to the Lunar Lowdown with me, Sally Nerney. This is the lowdown for the new moon of April 1st, where we have the Sun and the Moon and Chiron and Mercury in the middle degrees of Pisces. For this new moon, almost all of the planets are together in quite a small section of the heavens. This is not overly unusual, but I mention it because it does give us a sense of compression. So if you're feeling a little snug, a little tightly bound, just keep breathing. This too shall pass. As I make my way out into the stars, it's clear that the foundation we sit upon now is entirely new, entirely changing. Patterns and cycles, institutions and social structures are dissolving and reforming, and dissolving and reforming. We're finding our way into the future now. Chiron's presence, conjunct the Sun and Moon, can really bring things up for us now. Chiron is glibly called the wounded healer, but this is oversimplified. Chiron helps us to bring self-awareness to behaviors, attitudes, and beliefs that we cling to protect ourselves from pain. Chiron teaches us that these protections eventually become prisons, caging us in and cutting us off from our authentic soul's growth. Here, in a chart for a new moon, this is understood collectively. Having Chiron woven tightly to this new moon and Mercury suggests that our minds, our thoughts, and that which comes to us through the media, through conversations, cannot help but remind us that we have wounds, challenges, and we cover them up. We don't solve them. We shove them under the rug, and that rug is getting pretty lumpy. But this is the gift of Chiron. It brings not just attention to the wound, but it brings the healing too. I believe that our task this cycle is to allow ourselves to feel and to mourn and to cry and to be angry, to explore what we feel when we look under the rug without covering it up, without separating, without the compensatory behaviors and habits we use to keep those emotions at bay. But this is very delicate work. We do not strive to overwhelm and traumatize ourselves. There is no benefit there. Instead, we're talking about the kind of insights that we've garnered in the last 10 or 20 years of how to deal with trauma. That by bringing these things into the body and feeling them slowly and at a pace we can handle, we can actually process and allow these things to move through us. We become a conduit of awareness, and the healing arrives as well. This moon is an opportunity to be present with what is, without making it worse than it is, not making it better than it is, accepting the basic impermanence of this life, of both that which is fun and delightful, it passes away, and that which is painful and seemingly unendurable, this also passes away. Here, at this new moon, we strengthen our ability to perceive our vulnerability, our imperfections, and to rest from working so hard to hold up armor that keeps us safe, but really keeps the world at bay. Experiment with that permeability. Experiment with being with what is. It is also a moon cycle in which to cultivate hope. That's interesting. I hadn't thought of that. That's another way that we protect ourselves from disappointment and pain, by not getting our hopes up, not feeling positive or optimistic. This moon cycle, ease up on that. Find hope in the rhythmic cycles and the perpetual spiritual presence of life, the perpetual spiritual presence of destruction and regeneration. These are not separate. I've done this kind of work for a long time, and it can be fancy and it can be complicated, but I am always delighted to come back to presence. How being present with another person, having no solutions, no advice, simply listening, or sitting in silence together, acknowledging someone's suffering, someone's difficulty, someone's joy and accomplishments. But simply being there does something magical, has worth, creates transformation. So rather than overcomplicating anything, can this moon in Pisces simplify us, strip us down to presence, to allow the world to touch you and you to touch the world without your customary barriers, beliefs, perspectives, opinions. So in the spirit of that, let this be enough for now. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.